Welcome back to the Cozy Cottage Homestead. Think I'm going to go with my new slogan. Do you know what's better than frugal? Liking, subscribing, and leaving a friendly comment. Today we're going to be making homemade clothes detergent, as some Southerners like to call it, washing powders. Now when I first started making homemade laundry detergent, I used to use the liquid form. There's another type you can make using the borax, the washing soda, baking soda to make the liquid form. But in order to save space, and I just happen to like the powder better now that I know how to mix it up better to where it's really fine. So the first thing you're going to need is the Fels Naptha bar soap. I had bought a case of this probably about 15, 16, maybe even longer, 17 years ago. I think it had 24 in the case. I still have about 4 or 5 bars left. And the soap is getting really hard now that it's gotten older, but it still works the same. So we have some baking soda. We have the Arm & Hammer laundry booster, which is the super washing soda. And then we have the 20 mule team borax. And why would I want to make my own homemade laundry detergent? Because it's more potent than the commercial laundry detergent. And if you buy the borax, the washing soda, even if you go with the baking soda is optional. Everyone does not add that to their recipe. And 1 bar of the Fels Naptha soap. This is going to cost you right about the same price it will cost you for one thing of laundry detergent, especially if you got the name brand. The only difference is this is going to make me 2 batches of laundry detergent, which will give me close to 500 loads of detergent. You only use about 2 tablespoons of this powder after you get it all mixed up per load. If you have a really soiled load or a large load, bunch of stinky towels from swimming or work clothes, you might want to add 4 tablespoons to your laundry detergent. Either way, this is going to be a whole lot cheaper. Yes, even with the inflation prices, even with the prices going up. Your best bet is to buy you a case of the Fels Naptha soap. This is a laundry soap. And then you'll have enough soap for at least the next 10 years, maybe even 18 years, depending on the size of your family. And then when you go to the grocery store every now and then, just pick you up a box of each one of these. And then over time, you'll have a little stash collected, so that it's not as much of a shocker when you go to purchase it all at one time. You'll just start saving it, which is very frugal because we know today's prices are the cheapest they're going to be. They're not ever going to be any cheaper than what they are right now. So you also eliminate the waste of all the plastic containers. And I think the biggest complaint that I've heard people say about the homemade laundry detergent is that they don't like the way it smells. So I have an alternative to that. You can use essential oils. You can just add a couple of drops when you start your laundry, or you can add it to your dry powder whenever you make your detergent. And the other thing for me is I'm definitely not a tightwad by no means. Being a tightwad and being frugal is 2 different things. In my life, I've learned how to be frugal on certain areas so that I can have the things that I want and go about it a different way. So it works great for me. So the money that I save on making my own laundry detergent, I'm able to buy the laundry booster, which I don't really think it does much because this detergent is extremely potent. This gives me 56 loads of the snuggles, but it smells good. If you don't like the smell of the homemade laundry detergent, I've done it with the laundry booster, the smell good snuggles, and I've done it without. But now that I've used it. My daughter-in-law introduced it to me, and I was like, there's no way I'm not going to spend that kind of money for that. But then whenever I've done the math on it and seen how much I was saving on the laundry detergent, it made sense to go ahead and get the laundry boosters, because it does make your clothes smell a whole lot better. And it also softens your clothes. So the first thing you want to do is grate up your bar. I have a grater for this old antique food processor. My soap is so hard that it broke my plastic piece, but I would normally put this in here and grate it, but my soap is that dry. So you have to get out your old timey, which is what I've used for probably 15, 16 years, was the grater. Now I'm going to go ahead and grate up the whole bar of soap. I'm going to show you how to make 2 batches out of 1 bar of soap. I think I'm only going to make the half the batch just for time-wise, just so y'all can get the idea. And my soap is extremely dry, so it grades up really good. Takes a little doing, and it definitely builds your arm muscles, and if you have arthritis like I do, it's a little tough on your hands to hang on to it, especially when it gets small. The smell of it doesn't bother me either way. I tend to like it either way. It's more natural. And also this laundry detergent is 100% non-toxic. Of course, it doesn't mean your children can eat it like kids has gotten into the Tide Pods and licking the tops of Comet bottles and stuff like that. Pretty much common sense here. It's a detergent. It's made to wash your clothes. It's not something you want to eat. But if someone was to get a hold to it, it wouldn't be poisonous, and it more likely wouldn't kill them like the laundry detergents that we have today. So we got that done. Just move this out the way. This is enough to make 2 batches. So I think I'm going to go ahead and start my measurements just so you'll have an idea how much to use. I'll dump everything back into this bowl, and then I have another hard container from some detergent that I used to use years ago, and I saved all those tubs, and I just dump it in there and keep it by the washing machine and refill it. So I have an antique food processor. I actually have 2 of them. They work quite well. I think you can put it in a smaller chopper or something like that, or even maybe in your blender to make it as fine as you want it, but I have to do it in small batches, so it does work fine for me. You're going to need, I'll go ahead and read the ingredients first. You're going to need 4 cups of the Borax to 20 mule, 4 cups of the washing soda, 2 cups of baking soda, and a half a bar of soap. Now this is a whole bar, so I'm making 2 batches. And I generally only have to make this laundry detergent maybe twice a year for our family. There's 3 of us that does laundry together. It's my household and my neighbors. But even whenever I had the foster kids and we had 8 to 10 people in the household, I probably went through maybe 4 double batches for the whole entire year. So as you can imagine, it saves a lot of money, and you don't need to use near as much of it as you would the commercial detergent. And then the type that has the liquid, I'm sorry, but you're probably just playing for water. So, and if you don't believe me on the theory of the laundry detergent being a lot more potent, so say you just don't believe that this stuff really works, I have a little test for you. So get you a 5-gallon bucket or a large wash tub, something large. After you wash your clothes, I want you to, just a little bit left, I want you to take out your clean clothes out of the washing machine after your cycle is finished. Just grab a few of your garments, put them in a 5-gallon bucket, and then if you already have your detergent made, your new detergent, Sprinkle you about 2 tablespoons in there. Push it down under the water. Let it set for about 5 minutes. And come back and tell me what your laundry water looks like from the clothes that you just got from the washing machine that were supposed to be clean. You'll be a believer too. Do this little test and you'll see what I'm talking about. Very, very, very potent laundry detergent. Now this does get some dust flying. It's going to be noisy, but we'll get through all that. All you're really doing is making sure that it's very fine. And of course the baking soda is already pretty fine. But you want to get it as fine as possible. And then go ahead and throw the soap in there. And I'm going to try just to do about half of it. So I'm going to run out of room in my bowl right there. Basically, you're just wanting to keep mixing everything together. Mix it, mix it, mix it. We'll use this for our second batch. Move that out the way. And let's get our laundry booster. Here in the South, humidity does get to everything, so if you open a box of this, be sure to put it in a Ziploc bag, or even better, dump it into a Ziploc bag and get it out of that cardboard box because it will get moisture. Then you'll have a big chunk of detergent, which is fine. You just break it up if it does that. Still works the same. Generally, 1 box of each of these is enough to make 2, sometimes 3 batches. Of course, I'm going to have heck getting this open. I do have a big chunk in there. Trying to just get it to fall out. And make a mess. I'll get that all in a second. So, this is going to be close to my 4 cups. This is a 5-cup measuring cup, so it's not going to look exactly right. So I'm just going to try to break this up just a little bit. And I'm going to mix it in with the soap. And we're going to turn it back on again. Get it all mixed up. Not right. These old timey ones, you have to get them lined up just right. I'm sure they have more modern ones. I'm not sure though. I know a lot of people uses the KitchenAid to do this kind of stuff now. I have these, so I just go ahead and use them. They can be a little tedious. It wants to give me some problems here. Alright, so I'm going to dump all this into my bowl. Start over. Because you know this isn't a perfect world. I'm not going to sit here and edit the video and act like everything goes perfect, because as we know, things in life doesn't always go perfect. Put some more of it back in there, and I'm just going to use my hands. That's how untoxic it is, that it doesn't bother me. Just put a little bit in there and see what we got. I think I'd accidentally lifted it and it didn't want to do right. And the dust does get pretty bad a little bit. Of course, you can wear a mask. Probably should wear a mask. Alright, I'm going to get the borax. This is going to be 4 cups of the borax. Hopefully it pours out a little better. This stuff is all pretty fine to start with. You just want to mix it all together, and it seems to really get more like a fine powder, which dissolves really good in your washing machine. I don't know if y'all are going to be able to see the difference, but I'll try to come closer to the camera, show you. The powder in the measuring cup, let's see if we can see it, I guess you can see it, is a lot lumpier, and the stuff that's been in the food processor is a lot finer. So you want to just keep mixing it back and forth until you get it all mixed good together. And it takes a little while because this is a smaller food processor. And this is the half batch, so it does take a little while, but for your time, the time that it would take you to go to the grocery store and pick up the laundry detergent and be tempted to buy other things, by the time you would have went there and come back in about 30 to 45 minutes or less, you can make your own laundry detergent that is going to save you tons of money. And it's all natural, and I think y'all are going to like it. There are lots of recipes out there for this laundry detergent. This is what I have found has worked best for me. Just gives you an idea of something else that you can do that is extremely frugal and non-toxic, good for the environment, and the times that we're living in. Years ago when I first started making this laundry detergent, people thought I was absolutely crazy. They're like, why in the world would you do that? That's crazy. Like, you're going back in time. No, it's not going back in time. It's about being frugal, saving money, and making things work for you and your family, and that is healthier and greener for you and the environment. So to me, it's a win-win-win-win all the way around. Right, I'm going to go ahead and pause it and get right back to y'all and show you the finished product. Right, got the last little bit in the food processor. This is looking really fine. So I'm going to go ahead and finish this last little bit up. It should do it. Keep my hand over it so that the dust doesn't come out, because it is a little overwhelming when you first open it. You might not want to do it around small children to freeze it or anything, but once you make it, you're good. And now we have a whole bunch of laundry detergent. And I should be good for about another 4 to 6 months on my laundry detergent. And I will make one more batch. Then I know I'll be good probably for 6 to 8 months. But it's extremely fine. You literally just use 2 tablespoons. Can you believe that? You just use 2 of these. If you have a larger load or a very soiled load, you would use about 4 tablespoons. So I think you can see the largeness of this container and how much you would use. It's going to last you a long time. I want to read some of the tips for you on the 20 mule team. This stuff has been around for probably, well, it tells you right here, since 1891. So you know it's a trusted household cleaner that's been around. It helps remove stains. It neutralizes odor. It's a laundry booster. You could also use it in your bathroom to clean without chemicals, fumes, and it's also safe. It will not scratch your porcelain and your fiberglass. It also removes soap scum, hard water stains, and dirt and grime in the bathroom. You also can use it on your countertops. If you have a greasy, grimy spot, you just sprinkle a little bit on it and then let it set for a few minutes. Wipe it up with a damp washcloth and it's all sparkly clean. So you can use it on lots of different things. So even if you don't use it just for laundry detergent, you can use it for a lot of different things. It's used for stain removal, neutralizes odor. It says it softens your water, so if you have well water, this is probably a really good detergent to use. You'll have to look it up, go online. It has multi-purposes, household cleaner. Really good stuff, very potent, in my opinion, works much better and much stronger than all of the name brand detergents. Now I do have to say, some of the newer washing machines, and this is just my opinion, they have the computerized ones and all the new hoops and whistles and everybody just rushed out there and went and bought them. There's only one little problem with those new washing machines. They don't actually have an agitator in them. They just have these little fins on the inside of the drum that just spins around, spins around, spins around. It doesn't have like an agitator, kind of like this, using it as an example, that actually agitates and washes your clothes. Now, with those new washing machines, this type of detergent may not work as good because it doesn't have the help of the water agitating to wash your clothes. You know, back in the day, they used scrub boards and they used plungers and you scrubbed your clothes. You know, the washing machines used to scrub your clothes too because they had the agitators. Now they don't have the agitators. I've heard and seen and know people that have lots of skin allergies. So this is a heads up for y'all tip. If you're having lots of skin allergies and you have that new washing machine, do the test that I told you. You don't have to be homemade detergent. Wash your clothes, put them in a 5-gallon bucket. You can just use water. You don't even have to use detergent. Put them in the 5-gallon bucket, let them set for 5 minutes. You can agitate it if you want to with the plunger or your hand. Come back in 5 minutes and I want you to do the test and I want you to tell me if that water was crystal clean and clear. Because remember, you just washed your clothes in the washing machine, so you would expect them to be clean. Well, there's lots of studies being done. Lots of people are having skin allergies. They're finding out these new washing machines do not agitate and clean your clothes nowhere near as good as the old type washing machines with the agitators. Just want to throw that in there. Another thing to bring to your awareness. Laundry detergent, homemade or not, is going to work fine in any type of washing machine. But be aware of what type of washing machine you have. And if your children and yourself are having lots of skin allergies, just do this little test and tell me what you find out. I'd love to hear from you. So I think that's it for today. Thanks for joining me today at the Cozy Cottage Homestead. I hope this information's been helpful and you can learn more tips and frugal ways to provide for your family and do it on a lot cheaper income, because as we know, our money's just not going as far as it used to. So I've used this for, I want to say it was 17, 18 years. When I first started, I used the liquid type in the 5-gallon buckets with basically the same idea, but you let it soak overnight and it becomes like a laundry liquid, and it gets kind of like a jelly almost. It's real thick, but for space wise, I can make this a head. And if I had a root cellar or something like that, yes, I can make me up a bunch of 5-gallon buckets of the liquid stuff, and I'd be good to go. But this is the same price, the same idea. It's just the powder form, and it works just as good as the liquid. So if you have any questions, leave me a friendly comment, or you can email me at cozycottagehomestead@yahoo.com. I'll be happy to share what I know with you. And remember, it's just my opinion. This is what works for me, and this is what I've been doing for years, and I know it has saved me a lot of money. So farewell, homestead family, friends, and neighbors from the Cozy Cottage Homestead.